So, who are the Jews in reality? Many self proclaimed experts and historians have disingenuously made the assertion that, what? They're not a race, they're just a religious community. Jewish just denotes the name of a religious community and heritage and group of people who speak the same Semitic language, Hebrew. Even Hitler disingenuously believed that they owed more allegiance to their religious community than to themselves as an ethnic tribal group, and that they were only a religious community, being foreign to Europe. Well, at least that last part was true. Well, if you want to completely ignore the complete European evolution that the Jews in Europe experienced centuries before Jewish nationalism emerged, DNA research has shown that there is, in fact, a Jewish race and that that race is a genetically distinct population. Furthermore, that race has not gone astray from its original stock and genetic input over the course of the last 1,000 years. In other words, they're not mixed at all. So, who are the contemporary Jews then? Well, first of all, contrary to popular belief, they do resemble what the ancient Israelites of antiquity would have looked like. The pedigree collapse. Let me introduce you to the pedigree collapse theory of genetics, which can debunk the Eurocentrist revision of the Jewish race, which is basically that if you go back enough in time, there's not going to be enough humans that are going to be ancestral to everyone alive today, which means that all people alive today in a particular region have to descend from everyone who had children at that particular point in time, because bloodlines end up mixing and migrations happen. What this means in the case study of Jewish history is that the Jews alive today most likely and most probably descend from every person who was alive in the region of the world that they originally stemmed from prior to the migrations, as well as the mixing, which were their ancestral theories. Their ancestral territories in West Asia more than 1,000 years ago. That is the areas they lived in before their exile from the Assyrian kingdom and other events such as betraying Moses and being banished from the Holy Land, from the prospect of the Holy Land, which led to the creation of their diaspora, meaning that all the different modern Jews, Ashkenazis, Sephardics, Russian Jews, Hungarian Jews, East European Jews, the Mizrahis, Yemenite Jews, etc., all descend from the same geographical areas they originally lived in. So the physical appearance and phenotype you have is really irrelevant. It would have been accurate if the European Jews were conflated with the Moors by the locals in the medieval period. The Jews, Assyrians, Phoenicians, Mesopotamians, and Arabs probably all speak in Semitic languages and attain Semitic culture to varying degrees collectively, because the Akkadian Empire was the largest superpower in the region and more or less, in many ways, conquered and influenced the people of the region. The Akkadians, who were based in Mesopotamia, were the first Semitic-speaking population in West Asia, and all Semitic languages of West Asia more or less descend from Akkadian. European Jews, like the Ashkenazis and the Sephardics, do not cluster with Northern Europeans, but rather the Cypriots and native Levantine people, which means that they are in fact genetically related to the people you find in Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Palestine, and the like, which also means that they are genetically exactly the same people as the Mizrahi Jews are, which also means that the Jews are a completely uniform and homogeneous population on top of being a distinct race of people, despite being scattered all over the world for centuries. Dude, they self-segregated themselves and forbade interracial and intercultural marriages and still do to this day to a large extent. What the fuck are you people talking about? The notion of the Jews being one of the most mixed populations on the planet is one of the stupidest things that one could ever say. Persian Jews are not native Iranians, even though my fellow co-nationals believe that they are. They're talking absolute nonsense. By that statement, they, along with many of the other people who believe that, are implying that Iranians and Persians have Jewish blood in them. But Iranians don't have Jewish blood. Iranian Jews form their own cluster apart from regular Iranians. These Jews in particular are not Persians who converted to Judaism in antiquity in any shape or form. They're the exiles of They're either the exiles of Babylon who became permanent residents under the reign of Cyrus, or ethnically Jews who have lived in Iran since another particular period of time. The Nazis even considered Persian Jews to have become Aryanized because they had been living in Iran for so long. Persian Jews cluster far from the average Iranian, and by the way, Iranians are genetically homogeneous as well. The Khazar theory for the Ashkenazi origins was debunked a long time ago because no study on any Ashkenazi population hitherto has found any trace of Central Asian or East Asian genetic components, and because the Khazars converted to Judaism because they were assimilated by the nearby Crimean Jews, also of the same descent as all other Jews, i.e. largely native Levantine, i.e. Natufian descent. After the fall of Khazaria, as the Crimean Jews had a history of assimilating and converting everyone who came from Crimea. The Khazar ruling elite never converted to Judaism out of their own accord for business purposes and assimilated their population afterwards, as the narrative suggests. The people who have believed in this hypothesis either have no idea who the Khazars were, or they had no idea what the Jews are, who the Jews are. That theory arose from a fictional book written by Arthur Koestler. The Ethiopian or Black African connection with the ancient Israelites is also a total nonsense myth invented by mostly anti-Semites with zero knowledge, or overt or covert, or aversive anti-Semites with zero knowledge of genetics or anthropology. The Ethiopian Jews have no connection with the Jews of the Bible or the ancient Hebrews at all. They were also an assimilated population, like the Khazars were. There was zero sub-Saharan African admixture in the ancient Middle East, and the foreign sub-Saharan African admixture that arose in North Africa actually came from the Arabs and their involvement and mingling with the locals there. And there is no primary source or any bioanthropological evidence to support a claim that any Jew on the planet had any sub-Saharan admixture. And for the record, Ethiopians are half Semitic to begin with. The Jews are located in Egypt as slaves in the Exodus because, more likely than not, there could be plenty of reasons. Mesopotamian and Egyptian the Mesopotamian and Egyptian civilization exchanging swaths of people with each other being a notable one. So no, the the Yemenis, Ethiopians, or Somalis are not the original Semites. The closest people would probably be the Yemenite Jews. Jesus' admixture would have probably looked like a Mizrahi Jew or a Palestinian, more so the latter rather than the former, particularly a Palestinian Christian. And Abraham would have probably had my Mesopotamian admixture. The Umayyad Arabs likewise would have resembled the Yemenites as well. I will continue this video debunking everything I've just said in the framework of culture and history in my next video. But for now, this is where I end my dissertation. Thank you for watching.